Hello YouTube, this is the Apex Kid. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about back problems. Too many times I've seen people come into the gym who have limitations, who have spinal injuries or back problems, and they think that they can't do anything when it comes to working out. They think that they're only going to hurt themselves more. So this week's episode, we're going to be talking to Will the Beast Wyndham. Get it? Will the Beast Wyndham? He's a really nice guy. He's one of my personal close friends. He's also a personal trainer, and he's someone who has suffered back problems in the past. Will, what are some of the back problems that you had?
Well, one of the injuries that I suffered from a car accident, I have a herniated disc. Some of the things that I couldn't do that we take for granted, I couldn't stand straight for a very long period of time. It would get uncomfortable. Sleeping straight was very uncomfortable. Standing up or sitting down too long was very uncomfortable. So for me personally, getting the injuries around that herniation was the key to rehabilitating myself, and hopefully it can help others.
Excellent. So not only did you have some limitations that I'm sure our viewers will, be compassionate about because they understand those same feelings, but did you ever come across the stigma that you had to avoid certain exercises?
Well, one of the very simple exercises, which requires no body weight, which we'll show you later on in the video, was a back extension with no body weight. Just simply leaning forward, and that caused me a lot of back pain, and it was very, very painful.
Now, when a lot of people, they face, back problems, they think that they can't see results. They can't lose weight. They can't gain muscle. Do you think that a back injury should prohibit someone from reaching some of those goals?
No, I think the only thing that prohibits you is you.
Excellent. So now, I do want to mention beforehand, speak to your doctor before doing any type of physical activity. They are experts and they do know your body. You also know your body as well, but speak to your doctor and they can help you reach some of these goals. But there are some things that you can do. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So stay tuned. We're going to be recording this whole episode. Me and Will are going to be doing the workout together. Then we're going to rate some of these exercises in difficulty from a 1 to a 10. And then you can decide if that's something that you want to move forward with, or maybe you want to start with an easier version of that workout. But we're going to go through the whole thing so that you can see it. We're going to kind of do it in a time lapse. So if we look sped up, we're doing it at normal speed. It's just the camera, okay? So go ahead and follow us. Alrighty, welcome back. So as you can see, we're going to be starting off with a little warm-up using the elliptical. Now the elliptical is going to be your ideal setting, because normally when you walk on a treadmill or you run on a treadmill, that impact of each step is actually absorbed in your knees and in your spine. And if you have back problems, that may cause some difficulty or some pain. With the elliptical or with a bicycle, it takes all that impact out. So you don't really have to worry about that pain being absorbed in your spine or in some of those discs that you have back there. So this is a really good warm-up. We're going to be here for about 10 minutes, okay?
Exercises that I did to help me really rehabilitate myself was back extensions. No body weight, you can do this at home or at your local gym. Back straight, squeeze your cheeks. gradually, the more you do it, the better you get. Now there's a myth: no pain, no gain. When it comes to injuries, you want to be sore. You don't want to feel pain. So gradually get those muscles around your injury stronger, and then add resistance later.
Thank you, Will. Another thing to really appreciate about the back extension is you are strengthening those muscles around your lower back, okay? Now, something to keep in mind with this exercise is that the majority of people who don't know how to do it properly do it wrong, okay? Now, I'm a lot shorter than Will, so I'm gonna have to put this down. Don't laugh at me. A big mistake a lot of people make when they're doing their back extensions is they extend too far back. So for example, they do this. You want to avoid that because now you're putting all of that pressure on your spinal cord or your collar. What you want to do is just get to where you're straight with your body. Okay, that's as far as you want to go, or even a little bit less than that if you are feeling some type of, too much of a stretch or some pain when doing the exercise. Now the recommended amount of how much you do is going to vary on person to person. We're going to be doing 3 sets of 12 reps, okay? Fast forward time. So we just did 3 sets of 12. Now another thing to keep in mind when doing all exercises is it's not about how quickly you do it. Give yourself enough time to rest, but also the time that you're doing a negative or the time that you're returning, whether it's bench press, a back extension, leg press, that time where you're actually coming back up or relaxing your muscles is just as important as the speed in which you actually do it. Give yourself time, do it nice and slow, and that's the best way to get these exercises done. Will, what's going to be our next exercise?
The next exercise we're going to do is one of my personal favorites, the seated cable row. Now, this is the seated row. The seated cable row is currently being used by the one person in this whole gym. But the proper way to do this exercise, and notice my form and my posture. Back straight, chest out, arms fully extended, elbows tucked in. When we pull back, whenever you do a rolling motion, a pulling motion, you're doing a back exercise. So you're pulling towards yourself. So just the same way you did the back extensions, we're going to do the seated row, 3 sets of 12. Okay? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. This is the seated cable row, and this is the machine that I'm in. So notice my knees, my legs are slightly bent, my chest is out, my back is straight, and I'm pulling towards myself. The only thing I'm moving is my arms back and forth. And like I said, this is targeting your rhomboids, your erector spine, and this is the motion that you want to do. And gradually, the more you do it, the better you get, the stronger you get. And like, you want to be sore. You don't want to feel pain.
Now, working out these muscle groups is important because these are the muscles that surround your spine. And remember, that's what we're trying to strengthen. So by working out the muscles around your spine, we alleviate some of the weight and pressure that usually falls on the bone, the tendons, and the shock absorbers that you have in between, or your discs. So we want to make sure that those muscles are as strong as possible, so that when we bend down and pick up something that we've dropped, we don't accidentally pull out our back, right? So the next exercise we're going to be doing is the lat pull-downs. If you haven't already checked out my first video on how to burn fat properly, check it out now. I already explained how to do this essential workout in that video, okay? Now again, we're going to be doing 3 sets with 12 reps, but this depends on you. That's just what we're going to be focusing on today.
A bent over barbell row, and I'll show you the proper form and right way to do things. Knee slightly bent, back flare, chest out, glutes out. You want to pull to your waist. When you're doing your waist, you're getting more of a rhomboid exercise targeting the middle to your lower back.
Now, if you want to increase the intensity, you can add squats, you can add deadlifts to the exercise program, or just increase the weight. Remember, you don't have to be in the gym for 4 hours. A nice 30 to 40 minute workout is more than enough. The last thing that we're going to be focusing on is our abs, or our core. Now, we're not trying to burn fat in our abs like I explained in the last video. Instead, we're still going to be strengthening our core. A lot of people don't understand that when they have back problems, it's because their abs aren't strong enough. So a simple ab workout that doesn't involve bending your back, so using your legs, is going to be what you want to focus on when you have back problems. So today we're just going to be doing simple leg lifts, holding them up in the air, waving them like we don't care, and then strengthening ourselves, all right?
And remember also, everything derives from your core down, from your core up. So the stronger your core, the easier these exercises will become. But you gotta be patient with yourself. It comes over time.
Alrighty guys, that's going to end this week's episode. I really appreciate you for tuning in. Next week's episode is going to be focusing on calories. What is a calorie? I'd like to take a second to thank Will. Will, what would be your final words to someone who's working out their back?
This specifically works for me. It was great for building the injury around my herniation and getting most of from my upper to my middle to my lower back. That's the muscle groups we targeted in these workouts, and it was great for strengthening the muscles around those injuries. So it's good for rehabilitation. I hope you learned something, and if this is a learning experience for us as well, so if you have any feedback, drop it in the comment section.
Again, I'm the Apex Kid. Don't forget to hit subscribe, leave a comment down below, and also hit the notifications icon so that you can know when we're posting videos. Again, all the people that post a comment on our YouTube channel is going to be entered into a raffle at the end of the month to receive a free protein, so don't forget to do that. Thank you again so much, and I'll see you next week.